Hello everyone, welcome all of you for the building material testing laboratory video lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the experiment bending test on wood. Aim of the experiment: to conduct static bending test on wooden specimen and to determine two important parameters. One is modulus of rupture and modulus of elasticity. Apparatus required: universal testing machine to apply load, steel scale and vernier caliper to measure the cross section dimensions. For a simply supported beam of span L having supports at A and B subjected to W kilonewton at the center, the support reactions will be W by 2 and W by 2. Shear force diagram will be constant, having the positive shear force W by 2 and here other half will be minus W by 2. The shear force changes its sign from positive to negative. So, this point will be shear force is equal to 0. And the bending moment diagram will be sagging bending moment having the positive bending moment, maximum value is WL by 4. So, where the shear force is 0, we got the maximum bending moment. The shape of this bending moment diagram is linear. When it is subjected to point load, the deflected shape will be like this. The deflected shape of the beam, we can call it as elastic curve. The maximum deflection will be at the point of application of the load only. So, here at the C point we are having maximum deflection and the maximum slope will be at the supports, which is theta A and theta B. So, after calculation we got the maximum deflection. Deflection at C is YC. YC is equal to WL cube by 48 EI. At that point theta is 0, nothing but slope is 0. The maximum slope will be at the support. Theta A and theta B are the maximum values and the maximum deflection is YC, WL cube by 48 EI. Now, to calculate the maximum bending stress, we are having bending equation which is given by M by I is equal to E by R is equal to stress by Y, where M is the bending moment, I is the moment of inertia, E is Young's modulus of the material, R is the radius of curvature, sigma is the stress, Y is the distance from the neutral axis. To calculate the maximum bending stress, we can consider only these two values. Sigma is given by M by I into Y. For rectangular section having width B and depth small d, moment of inertia is given by BD cube by 12. We know the maximum bending stress for a rectangular section is at extreme fiber. Y max is extreme nothing but at the top or bottom, which is D by 2. If I substitute the maximum values, I is equal to BD cube by 12 and Y max is equal to D by 2 in this equation, after simplification we got the maximum bending stress sigma max is equal to 6 m by BD square. Now, to calculate the modulus of rupture, we can use the same equation. Modulus of rupture sigma r is equal to 6 mu divided by BD square, where mu is the maximum bending moment. For simply supported beam with central point load, WL by 4 is the value. Here we can say WU is nothing but PU, point load, corresponding to the failure load. And another second parameter, modulus of elasticity. For that, the simply supported beam with the central point load, central deflection, the maximum central deflection is given by delta is equal to PL cube by 48 EI. In that we are having Young's modulus E. If I consider that value, E is equal to PL cube by 48 into I into delta. How to get the P by delta value then? So, from the graph, P by delta is the slope of straight line portion of load deformation curve or load deflection curve. The unit of this is Newton per mm. If I substitute the value of P by delta in this equation, we are having the L value, moment of inertia value, we will directly get the modulus of elasticity. And if I substitute the failure load in this equation, you will get the direct value modulus of rupture. Now, to conduct the bending test on hood, we are having the specimen. First, measure the cross section dimension by using the vernier caliper. We got B width is equal to 51.4 mm and depth D is equal to 51.68 mm. Now to apply point load to the simply supported beam, we need to make some of the adjustment in the universal testing machine. Here we are having pointer and simple supports. First, fix this pointer to the middle crosshead of the universal testing machine. Tight it properly. Then fix the supports in the lower table at the location of third point in both the sides. Then measure the distance between two supports using the scale. We got length is equal to 300 mm, nothing but 30 centimeters. After that, place the specimen above the supports. The L value is 30 centimeter. Then press down button of the crosshead. So to lower the middle crosshead up to touch the specimen. Then close both the valves. Then press on button in the controlling unit and press reset the deflection and tear the load. Gradually release the right valve. Specimen is subjected to load now. Note down the readings of the load in terms of kilonewton and displacement in terms of mm with the regular interval of displacement with the 0.5 mm. Note down the respective value of load in terms of kilonewton. The test is continued up to the failure of the specimen. With the regular interval, note down the readings. Now the specimen is subjected to displacement, deformation. So take the ultimate value of that. After the failure of the specimen, release both the valves. Then press up button of the controlling unit to raise the middle crosshead and take out the specimen. Previously we are having test specimen with the simple support at the edges. L is equal to 300 mm subjected to point load at the middle. This shows the failure of the specimen after application of the load. Then the tabulation part, load in terms of kilonewton and deformation in terms of mm. We got these values from the controlling unit of the UTM machine. We consider deformation with the regular interval 0.5 mm, 0.5, 1.5 mm. Like that, corresponding load in terms of kilonewton we got 8.25, 9.27 like that. If I multiplied by 10 raised to 3, we got the value of load in terms of Newton. We are having load in terms of kilonewton and a deformation in terms of mm. Draw the graph. Along the x-axis it is deformation in terms of mm and load along the y-axis in kilonewton. The path of the curve will be like this. It is reached the maximum value. If I calculate that one, the maximum value of the load or failure load we can call it as 25.83 kilonewton. Then if I draw the initial tangent to calculate the slope of that, will be P is equal to 2.1 and the delta is 0.16. Then the calculation part, moment of inertia of rectangular section I is given by BDQ by 12, B value we have, D value we have in terms of mm. If I substitute here, we got the value like this in terms of millimeter to the power of 4. Then the bending moment mu is given by, for simple support subjected to point load, it is PL by 4 will be the value. PU is nothing but at the time of failure, PU we have, L is 300 mm. The value of PU is 25.83 kilonewton. If I substitute here, we got it as 1937.25 into 10 raised to 3 Newton millimeter. And the modulus of rupture is given by sigma r is equal to 6 mu by BD square. Mu we are having bending moment at the time of failure. Substitute here, we got the value of modulus of rupture as 84.66 Newton per mm square. Then last one, modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus of the material is given by E is equal to PL cube by 48 I into delta. P by delta value is given from the load deflection curve. The initial tangent we got it as 2.1 into 10 raised to 3 and the 0.16 will be the value of delta. Then substitute in this equation, L is 30 300 mm, I value we have in terms of millimeter to the power of 4, P value in terms of Newton, and delta value in terms of mm. We got the value of Young's modulus in terms of Newton per mm square like this. It is 12.48 gigapascal will be the value of Young's modulus. Then the final result, modulus of rupture is given by the value 84.66 Newton per mm square, and modulus of elasticity E is 12.48 gigapascal. Usually for hood, modulus of elasticity is varying from 6 gigapascal to 14.5 gigapascal. Our value is 12.48 gigapascal. This will be the end of the experiment. Thank you one and all.